Okay, that's 60 seconds to go. Fire up, please.
Multi-function Bravo 4, position 1, the track is clear behind. Both signal is staying out.
Are live now, I believe, but we haven't got the stream up. It'll come up any minute now. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the little delays we've had. Just a few problems.
Nathan, could you just sum up what we've missed real quick in these? What was it, 8 laps or so? Sorry, just to cut in the will.
Well, so far we've had Woody has retired with a crash of his own. Mavis has rage quit because he got spun and had some issues. Timo now has front wing damage from a little collision with Dincho, and the top 4 have been going at each other's throats. Kevin and Rajic have switched places. Toro nearly went from third to first at some points, and Nilu has just been waiting behind for these lot to make a mistake. A lot of everyone's on medium tyres at the front, but I think we're going to be seeing these guys wait until the rain comes to make any major decisions in this race.
Yeah, it's looking at the moment, and it's looking a good, strong, well, not a very strong lead from Kevin. As we've heard, he has been overtaken by Raji. But, Nilu, here we go. We've got the live stream back up this time, and we're back. Action again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So, Kevin leads in front of the pack, and it looks like Dincho is joining in this fight. And we said Dincho has got a potential, but here comes a dive down the inside. Rajic sweeps for the lead of the race. Is it going to be both the Alpines? No. Kevin holds it around the outside. Unbelievable holding there. And he saves, actually, first position. But can Rajic and Toro try and do something again? He's got Nilu joining in the fight again, so it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, they've looked up to the clouds. They see the overcast weather above Zandvoort now, and they know overtaking in the wet is going to be tough. And Toro, once again, might be hung out to dry here as the second Alpine out on track, then being stuck behind his teammates. So either he needs to pit a lap early, double stack, or pit a lap later, which neither of them you really want to do, right? Because you don't want to pit too early, wear your inters out. If you pit too late, you'll be like, I don't know, or give me a good pool reference or a good water reference. You'll be like a camel swimming. And that's a pretty good one, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to be leading when that rain hits. Just so that, I mean, like I've said, it's so tricky overtaking in the wet, because obviously you've got that one line to take, but it's still these 3.7 seconds out of Dincho, as now both of the Alpines get past Kevin, and Kevin now needs to, well, at least get in front of one of them, because right now the Alpines can play this very strategically, being 1 and 2, as we do have yellow flags in the final sector, and it is raining, Will. I think, yeah, it is raining. When are we going to swap over to Inters then?
Hopefully soon, but it's going to be interesting to see where the grip is and where the grip isn't. So let's keep an eye on Toro and Rajic, but with Rajic taking the lead of the race, you can see his rear team, but I think he's only just charging the battery. Bit of a lag there, no worries. But Toro just tries to defend, actually. But keep an eye on Nilu, because Nilu is watching Kevin. He's been watching all the fights. Toro goes a bit deep into that corner. It is definitely raining.
Really coming down. It's gone from no rain to rain. You might want to pit if it's going to keep coming this hard down. Of course, if it's going to stay like this, you're going to stay out. But look how much it's raining now if you compare it from just a sector ago. And yeah, I would say it's 100% tough for Inters. And this reminds me of Canada, isn't it, Will? Where one lap it wasn't raining, the next one it's raining quite a bit now, as Kevin pits, as Toro, Rajic and Nilu all stay out then. So we'll see who made the right decision then. But you can see more rain getting spit up on the camera there on the Toro then, and you can see he's struggling just a bit more than going in deep. Neto, our umbrella's starting to go up in the garage and on the grandstands.
Well, yeah, Kevin and Dincho are in, and I think that this is a bold call from them, and I think Alpine should have done something similar, because if these two come in on the same lap, they're going to hold each other up. I think either Rajic or Toro should have come in on that last lap, because now it's clearly the crossover point. Kevin is... I'm going to check if he's gaining. He is gaining on the leaders, and one of them should have come in on that last lap, because now what are Toro and Rajic going to do? The only thing they're going to do is be able to hold up Nilu if they want to try and be crafty on the pit lane entry, so that they don't hold each other up. But that's not Nilu's not who they're fighting. Kevin has a chance to win this if he can just have a good outlap. Timo's struggling on his medium tyres. That's Centurio going by. And this is interesting because...
Oh, the Alpines are really struggling. Toro almost putting it in the wall there. Going on to the back kick. Surely he pits them. What is Rajic doing? Rajic is also falling through, as well as Nilu. Then Nilu's dropped back a bit in these tricky conditions, as you would expect then. But where is Kevin then? Let's ride on board with them. Let's ride on board with Kevin then, Martin. And then, so you keep us updated on the two Alpines in the pit lane then. When have they finished servicing the first Alpine?
Yeah, Toro's now exiting the pits now. Obviously, it's an inside run for the first corner. You get a bit less time, but I think he's just about going to come ahead. Oh. Toro is... No, actually he's not, because Kevin's got the better line. And I think Kevin with warm tyres is going to be able to get around him here. Remember, cold tyres, and he doesn't know how these tyres handle. I have a feeling that Kevin's going to have the opportunity here. Rajic quite far behind as well. 6 seconds he lost in that little bit.
He needs to strike quickly, Kevin. He needs to strike in 1 or 2 laps when Toro is a bit uncertain of where to brake. Kevin, he's already done a lap. He knows the braking points somewhat, and they might even catch up to Centurio, who's still out there, and now it's really coming down. It's Intes, no doubt about it, and well, they've got about a sector then of before they catch up to Centurio, then 5 seconds, so it's going to be Matt close. And DRS is still enabled, ladies and gentlemen, so if it's enabled for 30 seconds more, Kevin will have it on the main straight, which is exactly what he needs. I don't understand how DRS is still enabled in these conditions.
It's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. Just remember that Toro is a bit vulnerable because his tyres aren't up to temperature like Kevin's are. But it looks like Toro managed to get a bit more of a gap. Look at Kevin squirming all over that little corner.
That's the DRS being open.
And here comes the DRS now. Here he comes round the outside. Is it going to be enough to take the lead into turn 1? Toro stays on the inside line. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. And Kevin just tucks in behind, so Toro stays ahead. I can only imagine the DRS is going to be disabled literally, well, in a minute, surely. Unless the game is a bit bugged, hopefully not. But Toro has managed to find the braking points and managed to find all the perfect lines and slowly pulling away. But let's keep an eye on Nilu and Rajic. Nilu ahead of Rajic, obviously, from that double stack in the pit lane. So already come up to back markers as well.
Very slow lap markers here, or back markers. But they are being ghosted. But this can still put you off, then even if they are ghosted. The Ferrari gets out of the way nicely, but the Mercedes of that's either Guido or the 007, and I think it is it is Guido. Then DRS is still enabled, and it is a proper Intes conditions. Then as Franave struggling, everyone's struggling. Hey, you've also got, I think Timo went off further back then, if I'm not mistaken as well. But once again, then Kevin, then last time out, you could see him struggling for grip through this turn. That's the DRS open, and you can see once again sliding. He needs to be a bit patient with the DRS, but I think he's a bit too far back. He's throwing everything at it, but he still can't get past it, even with DRS. Hey, he can't get past. So this is ridiculous. We're pretty much halfway through now. Lap 18 out of 36. Then Nilu has started catching up. Kevin is really pushing now. You can see his rear end there kicking out as well.
You can see Toro pushing as well, because when he turned into that corner, his rears were lighting up, and as we can hear on the stands as well, you can hear Kevin's as well. But let's keep an eye on Rajic, because well, look at the gap from Rajic. Oh, there we go. Finally, DRS disabled.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Toro is safe.
Oh, they were sleeping in the.
And there's a swing back there. Werner there ran the last corner, and that won't bring out any safety cars or watch safety cars. He has got front left damage quite badly as well, so he dives into the pit lane. Nedzo, how far off are we from getting wets? Because you said it was going to be worse later on the race.
Well, obviously, this is a game that is very strange when it comes to weather, and it takes a lot for you to go on whatever conditions. You need proper standing water, and no grip. It'll only be when these intermediates really want. One driver I think you should look out for is Rajic. He gained, I think, 7/10 on the leaders on that last lap, and he hasn't gained as much on this one, but he is gaining. When you've got guys like Toto and Kevin fighting, especially if they do continue to fight, obviously DRS is now disabled, so it's going to be harder for them to be really close to each other. I'd watch out for Rajic and Co. And it keeps getting wetter and wetter, but it seems like it's going to keep trickling down. And I'm thinking maybe around lap 27 to lap 30, if it was coming around there, you'd see major issues of people thinking, do I stick it out? Do I try and stick it out on inters, or do I go for those wet tyres? So you could see some proper decisions being made here.
Yeah, 100%.
The rain is getting heavier.
100% it's getting heavier. And Remus, and the big shock there with Nico-san, the man who was up in Canada in the rain fighting for the lead, is now down outside of the point. So he's not going to be happy with that. Remus is catching ever so slightly into that first turn, and I believe he'll probably get that move done probably soon, because he's really showing that true potential. Nico-san is not looking good.
He's struggling.
In this rain. Yeah, look at that rear. He's really spinning those rears. So that can either be the start of heavy rain, and look at that, hitting the camera, the onboard camera, and obviously you can see from the track side, it is awful rain.
100%, and you can see puddles are slowly starting to form then off the racing line then, slowly but surely. So yeah, I mean, I had a career race not too long ago where it was inters to wets then, but the wet weather period was very short. We're talking 7 laps or so. So obviously, safety car's out. So safety car is out, and if it was ever in doubt that we would hit heavy rain, it would be now, because with these cars traveling at way slower speeds, they are the inters can't disperse of the water good enough to where that dry line's gonna stay. So all signs are pointing towards that we are getting heavy rain later on, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go anywhere.
And it's getting interesting, but I thought Lucas there was going onto the wet speeds. No, he's going onto the inters. And that standing water is slowly appearing more and more and more. I believe it was a Ferrari of Frana that had crashed, causing the safety car.
Yeah.
And this is not going to help Toro at all. Because when he was trying to, well, he's obviously defending so hard off Kevin when the DRS was still there, but the DRS is gone. But Kevin is back up onto him now. But Nilu and Rajic are joining in the fight. And let's keep an eye on Dincho as well. We know Dincho's got some good pace in the rain. But he obviously wasn't up at the front. So it's weird. It's how it's swapped round. It's kind of, who's it? Nico-san and Dincho kind of switch round this round. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Dincho will get a good start off the line. Not off the line, off the race start, really. But Toro still leads the pack.
Oh, he's coming in.
Oh, Nedzo, down to you.
Yeah, he's coming in. I'm completely shocked at this. Are they all predicting wet weather conditions is what is going to be on the restart? This is very risky if that is the case. Or they're going to go on to new inters, and I don't see that being the case. Are they going on to inters? No, they're going on to inters. They're going on to inters. This is very odd.
That is literally everyone in the pit lane.
Not really the tyre wear is that high.
No, I can't think that. Unless it went on too early, but that could be something else. Overtaking under pit lane conditions there, but I don't believe he's going to the pit lane anyway. The man to still stay ahead is Toro. Toro still needs a pack with Kevin in behind. Nilu and then Rajic should be coming out soon.
I think the leader's theory were like, we've got a free pit stop, right? We might as well pit.
And then
why did everyone pit?
Yeah, because they obviously thought it was just because of tyre wear or something.
But look, the rain is certainly coming down more, but we'll get back to the weather shortly then, as now it is time for everyone's favourite part of the race. It's the sponsor time. So please, like the stream then, since this is a new stream. We've got to get that like count back up. It is currently on 4 likes, and subscribe to VD Racing League. We are just 9 subscribers away from the big 800 subscribers. If we can get there before the season ends, Nedzo is going to do a polar plunge.
A what?
Polar plunge.
What's a polar plunge?
What is a polar plunge?
Let's just say
British people now.
Frozen
we're
lake.
British. We're British, so
Yeah, I'm not jumping in the frozen lake. You can jog on.
All 3 of us are going to do that.
Since you're from the north, what's it called, the northern circle, the Arctic Circle. There you go.
they do that.
Therefore, my lake is going to be a bit more frozen.
Yeah, well,
But then it makes
I
sense
can't even
doesn't
swim,
it?
so I'm not jumping in the frozen lake. You can jog on.
No, you have like a rope, right? So you
Oh.
don't go misting under the ice, right? Because that's the last thing you want to be.
Yeah, no thanks.
Anyway, make sure to join the Discord, right? If you want to
Yeah,
get
just get
racing,
100,
for
800.
F125. Yeah, just get to 800. If you want to get racing for F125 Season 9 VDRL, join the Discord. If you want to become a commentator, if you want to become a steward, if you want to just chill and listen to some of Ramos's sick beats out of the race, or if you just want to shout at each other in VCs, trash talk, all that good shit happens in the Discord. And follow our other socials, not just YouTube, but also our Instagram and TikTok at VD Racing League or just a VDRL. In fact, I'm gonna check how many followers we have on Insta real quick, just to see if we can push that a bit more. Then we
I
have.
think it'll be more than 7.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully one more than 8.
Yeah.
we have 33 followers in Insta. I'm telling you, Martin, if you
The
give me
Stafford
Martin, if you give me control of the Insta, I'm telling you, we'll be getting 2,000 views in a jiffy.
Yellow's going to post some interesting pictures.
Of
No.
you will.
Oh, okay. That
Thanks
makes
for real.
Yeah.
That has to be a
I
subscription.
might get you
box,
hooked up in a jiffy. I don't know why I'm saying jiffy so much now. Anyway, now time for this, the best part of a race. It's where I ask my fellow commentators what their favorite type of food is within a category. Now, we've done ice cream before. We've done that loads of
Said you can't
times.
just laugh, you can't
I'm
do it.
sorry,
no,
we're
no.
going to have to interrupt you there, Yellow. No, I'm sorry. We have just getting ready. Sorry for the restart. Toro leads everyone, and Kevin. But it's going to be interesting because Toro and
So wet.
and Rajic. It's really wet now, isn't it? And Toro and Rajic are both talking together when they're going to get going. And you know, you got to be careful because Rajic is still behind two. Well, he's behind 2 drivers. So it's going to be harder for him to get back up. But is it going to be enough for a dive bomb? And Toro is about to get going. You can hear that throttle going up. And he's off now. No, now he is. Now he's gone. And Toro is using all of his ERS, I believe, as well. Nilu looking for a dive bomb into turn 1. So is Kevin. But Kevin just stays back. And Rajic is right onto the back. He's literally sniffing Nilu's rear there. And it's obviously... he's eager to get past. Nilu is also eager to get past Kevin. So it's a really big fight. How's Dincho doing behind as well? A 10-second time penalty. Penalties all over left, right, and spare. And
Look at the spray.
that is
These are
crazy.
tough conditions for these drivers, and especially if it's someone like Rajic, who is right behind the car in front. Then look at the standing water. There's not even a dry line, Will. There is. You know, often you talk about staying on the dry line. There is, if all of them decide to follow the inside line for the track, that's going to be the new dry line. As there's all sort of chaos here, fighting for the lower points-making positions. You have a lap Mercedes in the way, then Timo and Ramos wheel banging. Nicholson trying the up and under from right to left. The switchback then tries to get the power down and starts using battery, but there's just no grip for these guys. You can see struggling on the brakes. Timo going deep. Ramos once again trying the switchback now, and I mean, if it was ever in doubt for wets, right, it might be now then, but are they quicker? Because one guy pitting, it's not, none of these guys in the top 5 are going to bite the bullet. It's going to have to be someone like Ramos.
It will have to be someone at the back, and then they'll try and get the feedback from that, from their race engineers. But it's interesting because there was a fight back there for the points, basically, between Timo Remus and I think it was the Mercedes, but he was the lap marker anyway. But he's side by side, Timo and also Remus. They're both side by side. Remus got the inside line, Nico around the outside. Nico not liking this race at all, gone down to P12. We think these two fight before, but it's enough for Remus just to stay ahead. Still not in the points though. Remus now chases after Timo. The other Red Bull that's trying to do. Look at that, the snap from the rear. That's allowing Rajic to dive down the inside into turn 9. Is it going to be enough? Nilu covers the inside line, and it's an inside for the next corner as well. So Rajic left hung out to dry there, but it's not enough, and Nilu stays ahead.
Oh, it is also close now between these guys now. Rajic, he tried the move on Nilu. He knows he wants to get past if he wants to fight for the top 2 positions then, or at least get on the podium then. Nilu is struggling in these conditions, as you would. These are tricky conditions then. It is essentially wet conditions on it, and I would not be surprised if we see some aquaplaning at some specific parts in the track. Exit or entry turn 3, that's a big one. Just before the banking, or during the banking even, anywhere where you're at the bottom of the track there, that's where you can experience aquaplaning. This one being the first one on the entrance right here then, because the track just drops away from you naturally, but still everyone, even on exits, struggling with traction. These are tricky conditions.
These are horrible. The drivers are not liking them at all, but Rajic knows that the more he stays behind Nilu, the more that the front pack are going to just chase him and run away, basically. So he's eager just to get past him. But let's say that Nilu is not looking slow at all, though, because Nilu is actually trying to catch up to Kevin, because Toro's doing a good job at holding off Kevin, but it looks like Toro keeps going a bit deep into that corner, where that's his own racing line in the wet, and we know Toro's got some good race pace. Rajic almost running wide back there. How's the fight for 10th back there with Remus and Nico? I think, Martin, we can go down there.
Back then, I think there's about a 1 second gap.
Yes, look at that, Nico back up again. So the fight that's always occurred with these two, they're both once again, and it looks like Timo and Lucas are fighting as well. So it's lots of fights over there, and Timo's all over the back of him. This is a fight for P9. This is just one more extra point they could gain. And it's interesting, will Timo do it down into turn 1? He's catching, looking for the move. And I don't think he's going to make it. No, it's too risky, really, isn't it, Yale? Just to go for a move.
So tricky, especially offline, right? I mean, now you can see there's a bit of a dry line, but if you just go off it, right, that's treacherous conditions then, and you can tell Timo's got great pace. And I saw his ERS then; he was on overtake, and then he went down to medium. It's like, in these conditions, you need to commit for the overtake. Doesn't matter if you drain your battery to get it. You need to get it, because you are quicker than him. You can tell then, and you're losing seconds right now. You can tell he's looking left, he's looking right, trying to make the move somewhere. And that's what happens if you're just if you second guess yourself in these conditions. You're losing time, and your confidence just keeps going down, because that's what you need in these conditions. It is confidence.
It's 100%, and Timo's so much faster than him because he's all over the back of him, but Lucas seems to get the better exit. What he does, I think, Lucas' strats was to brake hard into corners and good acceleration, and obviously that's affected Timo's acceleration at the corners. Nikos and Remus, I believe they're still fighting, but Nikos still staying ahead, and they're wanting to try and catch up to these guys, but Lucas stays, well, a good fraction ahead. And this is a bit that Kevin, oh my god, Timo. There we go, Timo down the inside, looking for it into turn 1. Oh! Almost going for it. Here comes Nico-san though. He's looking for the move. He's going to go for it off the racing line. Oh no, it's not enough. And it's this wet. It's really, really bad. It's not good at all for the drivers. And Nico-san's going everywhere but the racing line.
Yeah, I think he's looking around, experimenting for grip, because sometimes in the wets, you have better grip mid-corner off the racing line. Turn 3, if I would be these drivers, I would try going the long way around the outside then, because in theory, with that turn being so banked, there should be less water there. And now you can see that dry line forming. Nicholson though, he's trying something new, and I like that, I must say, Will. He's looking, is there grip here? Do I go for late apex? Do I turn in earlier? What can I do to get past these two guys ahead of me? Timo, desperately to get on throttle then. Is still sticking by them now, but it is really coming down. Look, it is practically a mirror off the racing line.
It's crazy because Timo is absolutely, he's frustrated. I can tell he's frustrated. He wants to get past. He is so eager to get past. This is where he catches up. Look, he's right onto the back of Lucas now. Lucas has only just got to hold him down into turn 1, but we know Timo uses most of DRS. He's got it open now. It's going to go side by side now. Down into turn 1. Here comes Nico making it, and he's going to dive 3 wide into turn 1. Who's going to be our head? Nico is kind of trying to save that with Lucas. Lucas holding around the outside. We know the outside line's probably better, and Nico slots in position. One mistake from one driver allows another driver to come through, and he just stops him. He's not happy, Timo. He's really losing grip as well, and he's losing time because Nico-san, we know he's good in the wet, and he's just dominated that one. But here he comes onto the back of Lucas. He's eager for that move. He wants to be in the point. Well, he's already into the points. He wants more points, and here he comes now.
Look at the contact. This is bumper cars now.
It is definitely bumper cars, and Timo is going to be joining in. And Remus doesn't seem. It seems like his tires have gone off. And look at that,
so
and here comes Nico's son. He's gone around the outside now into turn 10. Is he going to be enough? Because the outside line may be quick. He goes for a switcheroo. It's not enough. And actually, yes, it is. He's using the acceleration out the corner. This is what Timo could have done, but it wasn't done. And Nico slots up into P9. And here comes Timo there, and Timo is wanting that at that position.
Great traction from Nico. So someone spun it. Pincho spun it. I was about to say, this is torrential rain, ladies and gentlemen. As Nedzo, you were down talking with one of the engineers, I believe, as he has now left the session, and let's hope there's no car behind. There is a stake. Luckily, he is ghosted. Yeah, Nedzo, what information do you have for us? Because this is looking like it's terrible weather.
I just talked to Rajic and Toto, and I said, is this rain going to get any worse? And they said no, which indicates they are not going to change off of these current tyres. I also heard, I think it was Rajic, after, just as I was leaving, I heard the words "you" and then an expletive, so I assume he made contact with some of the guys at the front.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and you can see them all fighting really close as well, but I feel like that was Rajic onto the back of Nilu, because we know Rajic's got the faster pace, but Nilu's catching up somehow to Kevin in those corners, and Toro snapping the front there, but still managing to stay out ahead. Nilu's just going gentle on the throttle, but that must be enough just to stay ahead, and I really want to know what happened to Timu, Lucas and Nico as well, Mark, if we can go back down there, because that was an awesome fight. And I believe, yeah, so Nico has actually stayed up there, and they've obviously all gone up one position, so all of them into the points, but they're all hungry for each other points. And the gap has kind of come down, but Timu's catching up again. So can we expect to see a move, Yellow?
I mean, we saw before, he was very close. He just needs to charge up the battery, and I think Timo just needs to relax now. You know you're quicker. Don't stress the move or anything. We saw what happened when he stressed it. Major contact with Nico-san then. But it is really cutting it down now. It's going to be so tricky to make a move then in these conditions. Then back to the leaders then. Rajic, 3/10 by Nilu. Nilu, 3/10 behind Kevin. And Kevin, 6/10 behind Toro then. And I'll not be surprised if we see this order all the way until the end of the race then. Because something needs to be done to break the deadlock here at the front, because they're all just so evenly matched. As Dinsho has now retired on track, I want to say, because I don't see a stopped car. Yeah, he has retired there.
Anyway, so.
Oh, so wait, his AI retired?
So his AI retired for him.
No way.
Unless he gets connected and has come back and then retired himself. Anyway, someone's pitting. Guido is pitting. Onto what tires is he pitting, Nedzo? Wets. All right. Now this is what we wanted 2 laps ago, right? Lap 30 might still be a bit too late, right? It's 6 laps to go. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a bit. I mean, if you had front wing, then sure. But 2 laps ago, that's when the leader still could have reacted to that pace, right?
Yeah, 100%. And we've seen that Lucas just got done by Timo, and Timo wanted that move, and now he's on the hunt to go and catch up to Nico-san, who's got a comfortable P8 there, trying to catch up to the other RB of not Nazan there. But that is good. But let's just keep an eye on Guido. Actually, Neto, if you can keep an eye on him, just see if he's actually got a better grip than the Inters. And look at how this is a fight there with the front pack once again. And it looks like Toro is pulled away comfortably. But it's not enough for Kevin, because Kevin is under pressure from Nilu and Rajic. Those two are working together at the same time to go for these moves. Nilu is actually catching up to him, and Kevin's not liking this at all. You can see him skidding. And this wet line is unbearable, isn't it, Yellow?
Absolutely. Martin, if we can quickly go on Werner for like just a couple corners, because I'd like to compare Werner real quick to Guido then. So yeah, Werner of course struggling a bit, then we know he's not a Kevin or a Toro, that's for sure, but he is very much keeping it on what I like to call the new Zandvoort for this race here, which is actually only about 2 meters wide, Will. As Vasas is now putting onto it. So now let's go to Guido and see how he is doing in these tricky conditions. He's got an Alpine in front of him, so this Alpine,
he's not fast.
He's same lap time as the leaders. I reckon Wets are quicker.
No, he's not fast. Yeah, I'll just tell you the sectors. I'll tell you the sectors he's just done, because he's not fast. I can trust me. So that last lap, Toro set a 28.1 in the middle sector.
Well, compare it to someone who's usually his pace on Inters. Compare it to Werner.
Okay.
Right.
28 sector, 30.9. He's not fast.
No.
Oh, look, 30.9. Isn't that the lap he pit then?
That was a rapid pit, but it was a second sector.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It was only a dream then. But it is. Look how much it's coming down.
It's
This
definitely
is
getting harder. and
torrential rain.
barely got any time left in the race, so the Inters, they're just going to have to stick with them, even though the grip is going. And look at that Neely with the rears absolutely lighting up, even with the Inter tyres on, locking up a tiny bit there with Kevin, and he's catching Toro. So Toro's obviously made a few mistakes, as you can see. And so is Neely catching up as well. Is Radic onto the back of them? I believe he is. But Kevin is on the hunt for Toro for the lead. He wants to win, but let's remember that Radic is only 7 points in front at this point. I believe Kevin does not overtake him in the championship stables unless
hold up. So Radic qualified in 4th, Kevin on pole. So that's what I think he does, because you got to factor in the 3 points for pole position.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So he probably would go ahead. So this is what Kevin wants, but Kevin also wants to lead as well to get even more points. But Radic is actually struggling more. Both the Alpines are struggling quite hard, and that's because they push those tyres to the max. And Kevin is just, I think, going to have to allow to take second. And it's kind of the French sandwich, just with a few more layerings inside. With the RB.
a bit more energy drink next to it.
Exactly.
Big Mac of
Oh,
sandwich.
Neil really struggling, sorry, just to get in there, Ned. But this is where the rain seems to be coming down the most here, through turn 10 and 11 then, and onto this little back straight then. They're really struggling now, but this is a good race for Toro. Of course, he's got the championship leader down in P4, so he closes up on Radic, and he closes up a bit on Kevin. Now there's yellow flags, because Timo has crashed. It is lap 33 out of 36 then, so I think it's just a bit too late for a safety car. Actually, this might be the last lap for a safety car. So yeah, Lucas back in the points, as well as Ramos now in P10.
And that is looking good, but don't play 0 there in 6th, and he's actually Centuria there, but the Centuria's has got a penalty as well. What was his spin there? Timo spun, I think, back there. I saw in the stream that I missed, I think. But Nilu is just trying to sit up, and he's trying to catch Kevin and Toro. My God, that rain is terrible. And, well, I can imagine that Nedzo is just taking cover underneath one of the pit garages. But Radic all over the back this time. He's got a better exit for the line. He's really confident in this rain now. He's managed to find the thing. Timo, another 10-second time penalty. Oh, he's speeding the pit lane. So he had damage from that spin. But anyway, Radic is going to try and get past. Look at that, Nilu going wide a bit, and Radic is taking the inside line and going tighter into the apex of the corner, and it seems to be working. So he'll be sending that off to Toro as well, just to keep the comfortable lead. And we're only down to 15 drivers, so 5 retirements. Not good.
Yeah, well, these are very tricky conditions. Look at the spray now. So what I've picked up on, it's the final corner, or the last 2 corners, and turn 11 and 12, or turns 9 to 12 rather, where it's raining a lot. Here, down into turn 1 now, as Radic tries it on the outside. There's contact between the two then. That for me is a racing incident, as Radic desperately trying to get on the power then. He tried it on the outside, but of course in these conditions it's so tricky. Nilu just hugging the inside to the best of his abilities as the two come together. For me, that's a racing incident, very clear in these conditions then, as they are catching up to a Ferrari, which is going to be a lap cut. Now, I want you guys to take a look at the weather now through these next couple of corners. Here it's still somewhat okay, or not.
And there we go, the wet tyre. Not looking good, is it? As it forces one of the Ferraris off, but I think he's letting the guys by. But let's talk about Toro into the lead. He's doing very well so far. He's only got to keep it for 1 more lap, and I'm sure he can do it. But Radic obviously eager to get that podium position, but Nilu wanting to get another podium. If he gets this, it'll be his 2nd podium of this season so far. So hopefully we can expect him to have more. But we come nearly onto that last corner. Remember, Nilu in qualifying affected at that last bit. He can't go too cocky, because then that might happen one more time. But here he comes now down the back straight. It's going to be Toro leading ahead of Kevin, ahead of Nilo, ahead of Rajic. The teammates working together, but that was a big gap there from Rajic to Nilo. Nilo's all over the back of Kevin. Once they had, that big gap they had from that dive bomb to turn 1. But look at that, Nilo and Kevin are trying to just catch up. But, oh my God, those rears are spinning like mad. That
I can't imagine the tyre wear.
No, I can't imagine either. And it's looking crazy, but here comes Nilu. Nilu's got an even quicker exit out of the corner. It was closer looking for a move down the inside. It wasn't enough. And can we expect to see another one? Because Nilu is wanting that second position. But no, and Kevin, putting those two together with Kevin and Rajic. Oh, that's not going to go down well, is it? So, these two now, Nilu is looking just to put himself up in the championship. But look at that. Toro's not having a very good exit out of the corner because he's sliding those rears. But here he comes now, coming into the last couple of corners, into sector 3, I believe now. And all together, this is Nilu's last chance to take P2 in the race. Sliding that rear, not liking that. But Toro has done it so far. He's absolutely ace that grid, and still Kevin sliding that rear. But the man who had an awesome qualifying has now brought himself to the lead of the race. And Toro wins the Netherlands Grand Prix. Kevin, the home man, in P2. Nilu third and fourth. Rajic, what a race that was.
Wow, well, we started our qualifying with blue skies, sun out, and everyone taking a tan. Now everyone is taking a shower, swimming, and washing their dishes with the same amount of water that you've got just from like 2 seconds of rain. Anyway, let's talk about, we'll talk about the RVs in a second. The McLaren's P7 and P8 then, as the 007, he had a very lonely race, didn't he?
Yeah, I can imagine he did, and obviously not helping Mercedes. You're talking about the 07, yeah? Yeah, the Mercedes, it's not their weekend, that's for sure. And Timo there, as I got corrected on the commentator's channel, he is in P12 after he had such a good fight earlier, and really it wasn't what he needed. But a good shot is Nico actually in 7th. So with a big comeback from P15, that's something else.
Wow. Well, what a race that was, and Baku rain. Portugal was dry, I think. Yes, Portugal was dry. Australia was dry. Canada wet, and this wet. And Canada and Zandvoort, they were mega wet. Anyway, they were just waiting for the podium sequence, but don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because we've got interviews coming up shortly for our top 3. And once again, it seems like the rain's cleared up in a jiffy then. Toro takes the win then out of Kevin, so this is exactly the race that Toro needed for the championship fight then. Kevin P2, rounding out the podium, you have Nilu. Rajic in P4, then you have Dumfries and Not Nathan P5, P6, and it's a strong weekend for the two RBs, P3 and P6. Then Nicholson and Citroën P9 and P7 and P8, sorry. Then Luchek P9 rounding out the top 10. You have Ramos, and you can take the rest then. Oh, sorry, no, you
I'll go over to the stream. No, don't worry, I've got the stream with me here. So I've got 007 there in 11th, 12th is Timu there, and he's not had the best race after spinning round. 13th Vasta, 14th Werner, 15th Guido, 16th Dincho. He had a crash in the end and then retired. Was that 17th Frana, 18th Mavers, 19th Woody, 20th Mick. So this is a weekend for Mercedes and Williams to forget, isn't it?
100%. As like I mentioned, it is now time for the interviews then. So the top 3 will be joining us for some quick questions from me and Will, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. Wow, well, what a race that was. Well, another wet race then. In the end, Toro came out on top, and I don't think Nilu, he didn't join us last time, so I doubt he'll join us again then. So we will start with the man in P2, and according to my quick calculations, I think he has taken the lead of the Drivers' World Championship after yet another pole position. And P2 then, Kevin, what a race. Tricky conditions, first of all. I gotta ask, how'd you set up that car knowing it was gonna rain in the race?
To be honest, I had a dry setup, so I was struggling a lot in the rain. So I'm actually quite happy that I finished P2, but I know that overtaking in the rain is very difficult. So I knew once I was in P2 that I couldn't overtake Toro.
Yeah. On the last lap, then Nilu had a run at you going into that right-hander. He was very close to overtaking you. Were you scared that he was just going to absolutely go for it on that final lap, or did you just, ever since the safety car restart, pretty much, did you have everything under control, or were you? I mean, of course, you were struggling a lot, but how was the pressure from behind?
I mean, I had the pressure from behind quite under control because I was managing my ERS every time I used it on the straight. But yeah, I had a little bit of pressure because I made some mistakes, but I could handle it.
Will, have you got any questions for Kevin?
Yeah, so Kevin, Nedzo, when we had a few stream issues, Nedzo was saying you were struggling with tire grip. Was that the case at the beginning of the race then?
The first stint with the inters, yes, I was struggling a lot because I think my left rear tire was overheating a lot, and my pace was very bad. I was dropping a few tenths every lap to Toro, so I was really happy that there was a second safety car because that made my race.
And also, with the pressure of Nilu in behind, did you think he was going to get you, or were you confident you were going to stay ahead?
I was quite confident that I could stay ahead because overtaking here is really, really difficult. And I think I had slightly better pace than him.
And we move down to our race winner, Toro. That was an awesome race for you. Give us your thoughts on that.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't think that I will win this race because I forgot to load the setup for the race, and I was using the quali one, which I thought will be very bad, but it wasn't actually. It was very good in the dry and in the rain, so yeah, I'm happy with that.
And we could also talk about the other bits. When the rain, we could see you were trying to find new lines, going wide and then kind of cutting in. Were you trying to find new lines, or were you just running wide from the tire with not enough grip?
I mean, I just wanted to have higher temperatures on my inters, so yeah.
And then yellow.
Yeah, Toro, for a moment, us three in the commentary box, we thought you threw this race away by pitting a lap later. Turns out you managed just to stay ahead of Kevin. But do you think this race was decided while it was dry?
Can you repeat? Because I didn't understand what do you mean.
Do you think this race was decided by whoever was leading when the rain started?
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I think that could be the thing. But the thing in this game that actually sometimes on the dries you are faster in wets than inters. I don't know why it's happening. I mean, to be honest, I shouldn't be ahead of Kevin because he pitted one lap earlier, and he had inters on in wet conditions. I mean, in Canada, I had the same thing. I pitted one lap earlier than Rajic, and still, I didn't even gain any second. So yeah.
Right, just a quick question to the pair of you. I forgot this happened. The DRS was on while it was raining? Raining quite a bit?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was enabled.
Yeah, for like one lap, I think.
Yeah.
No,
but you must have been so angry.
I mean, I
He didn't overtake you, but
yeah, but
before.
Yeah, yeah, I was, but yeah, it's the game.
Anyway, Toro, this was probably exactly what you were hoping for. You close up in the championship fight, so congratulations for the win. Kevin, congratulations on your P2. Nilu, P3, you could not join us today. And anyway, we'll take the outro away. Take it away.
Yeah, so thank you all so much to the drivers. Thank you to all the commentators, Yele and Nezo. Nezo sadly had to go, so sad we didn't get to say goodbye to him. But thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll be back in Qatar next Friday at 6 o'clock UK time, obviously, and it'll be 7 in Europe. So join us then, and we'll be back with some awesome racing. So until then, have a good night and have a good Easter.
Yes, Marista. Is that no? That's not what you say.
Happy
Happy Easter. Bye.
Easter.